guys, I just left the gym and received a phone call from our post office that our meat birds are in. So I'm old schooling it here. I'm actually recording the first half of this vlog on my iPhone, which brings me back to the good old days. But I didn't want to have to run home, grab my camera, and come all the way back to the post office. So I'm stopping in now. Nathan's kind of a bit concerned. We got the shipping notification from Murray McMurray a couple days ago that they had shipped our chicks, so we were expecting to actually get them yesterday. So he's a bit concerned that a lot of them may not be alive. I don't know. I'm going to go in here and see what we're dealing with. That would not be an issue on Murray McMurray at all. That is more so just like a post office issue. So we'll see. So I'm about to hop in here. Fingers crossed everything's good. Alright, so I hear lots of chirping, which is really promising. So that's good. I'm going to get home, evaluate the situation, hop on a camera, and let you guys see them. Alright, I have made it home. Nathan said that I need to put a water, and I'll have to move the feed out here. So I'm just, before I move the chicks and check on everything, I'm going to make sure I have their whole setup good to go. So we're heading out to the chicken coop right now. All right, I threw down a bag of shavings, brought the water in there. Hi. Hi. I'm gonna get you out real soon. All right, figure out which one of these are for the babies. Alright. Don't you love how like all this stuff happens whenever your spouse is gone? We were planning for this yesterday, which would have been great because Nathan would have been here to help. And we could have already done all this stuff, you're right. For those of you thinking, well, why didn't you think ahead? Good question. Asking myself that right now. Oh well, nothing beats leaving a CrossFit workout and coming home to do functional fitness. So, all right, we've made it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now for the main event. The actual birds. I'm coming, little guys. I'm coming. All right. Last ones. Woo. I hear ya, little guys and girls. We ended up getting a mix. The males feed out faster. They are also more expensive. So we ended up getting a mix of male and females. And we'll just feed the females out longer than the males. We should be able to tell. But yeah, I'm just, I hear a lot of chirping. So that is obviously a really good sign. Alright guys, it's a little dark in here. We still have another heat lamp to hook up. Usually what we do though, as soon as we get in, just regular chicks. This is our first time for meat birds in particular. But we have had just our laying hens shipped in before. Typically the first thing we do is immediately put them by the water and the food because it has taken them a few days in transit and we want them to immediately know that there is food and water available for them. So you guys real quick what we're working with. Hey, these are all, there may be some that end up like just not making it through the transition, but so far it doesn't look like any of them are dead in this bunch, so we'll start unloading them. Alright. Look, there's water. Yeah, you see that there's water? Typically what we do is just dip their beak in, that way they know. That's where their water's going to be coming from. 2 down, a lot more to go. gosh, that was a bit madness. They just gravitate to you. They're like freaking, I don't even know. I couldn't even move. They just kept coming together. They're trying to find all the nook and crannies to get out of. And that's a lot of birds. I mean, 100 birds to one Jill. It got a little sketchy. We actually only had one die, so I think that is amazing. This is what we have right now. Is this isolated pen. We have a heat lamp here. We'll have another one down there. So far though, lots of little babies running around. Alright, so right now I just made sure they had plenty of feed, plenty of water, shavings. I'm actually going to just leave them alone, try to let them get acclimated. We will check on them often. Usually when your chicks die, it's within the first few days, just from, you know, they did get shipped all the way here. So usually that's when it happens. So we'll keep a close eye on it. When Nathan gets home and can kind of help me to where I can get in and not worry about the door, we need to figure out that door situation. It's not latching just really great, so they keep trying to escape every time I walk in there. We'll just check on them a little bit, make sure that they all are eating, know where the water is. This seems a bit wild though. You know when you like dive into something and you decide to do it, and then you're like, did we really just do that? That's kind of how I feel with these meat chickens. I'm like, oh my gosh, we really did that. We really bought 100 meat birds. What were we thinking? We're thinking about sustainability. But it is funny because now that it's here, we're just like, oh crap, we got all these birds. What are we gonna do with them? It will be nice though whenever they are out in the grass and they're grazing. That'll be really, really ideal. But right now, we're just trying to make it work with what we got. So far, so good. So I just got done checking on the chicks again. Everyone's doing well, adjusting well, so that is good. Decided to come out here in the greenhouse, check on some things. Wednesday's vlog, I told you guys that Tuesday I started a bunch of zinnias, and much to my surprise, most of them have already germinated. I am like so incredibly shocked. That was so fast. I have been receiving this question a lot too, you know, the controversy on do you direct sow flowers, do you start them? And I've been getting it asked so frequently that I'm going to just go ahead and tell you my opinion on it. If you're not selling your starts, and there's not a reason to start them and then transplant them out into your garden, it is much easier just to direct something like a sunflower or a zinnia, or most flowers for that matter. Now you can start them and transplant them out, and they have worked fine for me. However, if you don't have to do this step, I wouldn't do this step, because it is just that. It is an extra step that's not really necessary if you're not needing to meet those other needs. So I would just, you know, be mindful of that. There are some flowers that I'm still just going to direct sow just because it's easier. So here are some of the ones that I started, I want to say for, yeah. So I started these for the plants. So look at all of them though. They're just coming up so nicely. Over here were the trays that I had for the farm. And they're coming up, look at that. It's about to be some birthdays. I accidentally, I guess, sowed multiple on some of these. This tray's doing really well. All of these I sowed on the same day. Are starting to come up. There's some dahlias back there. All the white marigolds, I'm so impressed because remember me telling you guys that I only got a few to germinate this way? I'm about to up pot all these next week. So there's quite a few there. I'll probably do these in like 4 or 6 packs. But I've got some tomatoes coming up that you guys helped June and I plant. So I'm feeling really good about that. And then look at these. Y'all, I cannot believe it. Look at that mighty fine pepper. I grew that. Feeling really good about it too. These need to be up potted. I'm waiting for trays to come in right now. You guys can see there is some discoloration. They're just needing fertilizer is really what they're needing. So when I up pot them, I'm going to go ahead and give them a dose of fertilizer and they should be good to go. I do have happy news to report. You know, the eggplants, most of my eggplants got toasted by the mouse, which I am happy to report. That mouse is no longer an issue. Thank you, Nathan Reagan, for that. But I went back in and just re-sowed all the ones that they nipped it off. I'm already starting to see sprouts. I'm feeling really good about the eggplant, so I think I'm gonna have plenty. But right now, I'm just desperately needing to pot up my tomatoes. I potted up some basil that's just gonna stay here. We'll do some companion planting. Here they are. There's Genovese, your opal, and then I had like a lime basil. I went ahead and started some more. I only ended up having one lime basil, and I really wanted some more of that. And then this lettuce leaf basil, it's like a really, really large leaf you can use for wraps. But as you guys can see here, these have their true leaves, and so these need to be potted up pretty soon. So as I am up plotting my stuff in the next few weeks, I will be taking you guys along with me. I will, give you guys as much good detailed information as I can just on the process that I do. But as I've been receiving the same questions quite a bit lately, I thought I'd just kind of throw those in here and there, just some sprinkles on top. And the question I've been getting asked recently a lot is, when do you up pot your tomatoes? How do I know when to up pot my tomatoes? I'm going to say that there isn't really a right or wrong answer to this. For me personally, I wait until they get their true leaves, and typically mine are like over 4 weeks before I pot them up. However, if you were to up pot them at 3 weeks, do I think you're going to kill them? Absolutely not. If you waited until 5 weeks, 6 weeks, are you going to kill them? Absolutely not. I would encourage you guys to play around that, see what works best for you. I'm noticing though, mine have just started getting their true leaves. They're showing nutrient deficiency because I do use a traditional seed starting mix that doesn't have any added nutrients in it, no fertilizers. So I'm seeing that my plants have probably got good root systems at this point. They've sucked up all the nutrient in the soil that I'm needing. So I'm needing to up pot that into a potting soil at this point that has that added fertilizer in it, or I'm gonna need to up pot them and continuously give them some sort of added fertilizer until they go into the gardens that they're going to go in. And that can look like, depending on what they're deficient in, you can do a bone meal, a blood meal, a fish emulsion. There's lots of different options. Don't just fertilize for the sake of fertilizing. I really encourage you only fertilize if your plants are showing the need for it. Also, figure out what fertilizer works best for you, is going to work best for you. So for instance, I was going to order some Neptune's Harvest fertilizer, which is a great fertilizer. However, my plants were showing signs of having a nitrogen deficiency, and the Neptune's fertilizer that I was going to do was a 001 analysis, which means it doesn't even have anything to boost nitrogen in it. So I ended up going with a fish emulsion, which has nitrogen, nutrients in it to boost up that nitrogen. So be mindful of that. Those analyses that are on the front of those bottles, whatever they look like, 001, 111, those are for your NP and K, your nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. So take cues from your plants, figure out what is deficient in, and that way you get a fertilizer that's actually going to do something. I remember I fertilized one year and I just bought a fertilizer. I knew my plants were deficient, but I didn't quite know how to identify what deficiency it was, and so they were phosphorus deficient, and I was feeding them with a high nitrogen fertilizer and not even fixing the problem of the phosphorus deficiency. So I would encourage you guys to kind of do some research on that, figure out what problems or what your plant sorts might be deficient in. Just try to cater to their specific needs. I ended up buying a fish emulsion fertilizer from a plant store. It's 511, nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus, and then the ones that I see maybe are having strictly just phosphorus deficiency, I'll just go in and I'll add bone meal, and I'll just add it at the very base of the plant and water that in. And make sure that you're reading the labels on these. You don't want to over fertilize and burn your plants up. There's nothing worse than working so hard on your plant babies and then killing them with some fertilizer. Take my word for it. I've been there, done that. There's all those eggplants I was telling y'all about. I feel pretty good. I mean, considering that, the mouse did a lot of damage. I've got several of these. This is that really pretty purple and white one. So these two trays, these are the ones I really wanted to sell. I haven't seen these in our area. And then the diamond, that's just your black eggplant. And so that was pretty standard. But yeah, look at that little plant coming up. Hello. Man, I love plants. So,
which one was it?
I don't know, it drowned in water. Hey.
Hi.
What are you doing? I like your boots.
Thank you.
I think they're on the wrong feet.
Oh.
It's okay. Did you have a good day at school?
Mm-hmm.
So what happened at school today that was really cool?
The wedding.
There was a wedding at your school today? Who got married?
Q and you.
Q and you. That's right, folks. You heard that right. Charlie got to attend the wedding at her school today for the letters Q and U to try to help teach them that they are married for life. I laughed so hard. I thought it was really clever. So when I picked Charlie up from school today, I asked her, Charlie, how was the wedding ceremony? You know what she said?
It was awkward.
It was awkward. Hey, you know what else is really exciting that we haven't got to show our friends yet?
What?
Smile. Guess what? Our sweet little Charlie lost a tooth. Can you believe it? My baby's not a baby anymore. Oh, it was an early day from school. I got to pick her up early. School let out early. There was some sort of like basketball competition or something. So it's been really fun. Usually when June's down for a nap, I'm out in the greenhouse by myself. Now I got a little visitor. You want to help me plant some flowers?
Yes.
Yes. What flowers do you want to plant? Do you know? Or do you want me to just show you? Show you. Okay. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with me today as I went and picked up the chicks, got stuff ready for them, and now I got my little trusty partner to help me get some stuff done in the greenhouse. You guys are amazing. Thanks for following along in our life and our journey, and we'll talk to you next time. Say bye.
Bye-bye.
Talk to you soon.